Okay, let's get a couple definitions in the in our in our vocabulary here. Um, so sequence. We know the definition of a sequence, but let me clarify that just a little bit more. Let's say that um, a sequence has a basic idea, right? We're just going to call this the basic idea from here to here, right? It's usually something. It can be like it can be as short as like one beat. That's maybe perhaps rare, but it can be shorter than this. 2 bars is a fairly long sequence. However, we're in 3/8 here, so that's not real long. Bars are pretty small in this piece. But you can see them that are 2 bars, maybe up to 4 bars, and as small as a beat. But something that's in the range of 2 beats or 1 bar is probably the most common. And a sequence has to be repeated. It has to be repeated at least once or more times right away at a consistent interval. So what that means is that it has to drop, like in our example here, the consistent interval is a whole step, because we're going, it starts on D, it starts on C, it starts on B flat. So it's dropping by a whole step each time, right? It changes here a little bit. So that is a sequence because it's a pattern that repeats and drops by a consistent amount. If it was always changing by a different amount, like it was going down by a whole step and then up by a minor third and then down by a perfect fifth or something like that, then it would be hard to call it a sequence because it would be jumping around. What we really like to see in sequences is this kind of big riff stepping around, either stepping up or stepping down, but in some kind of stepwise motion. Or it doesn't have to be stepwise. I shouldn't say that. It can be a leap. It could be a transposition of a minor sixth every time. It could go minor six down, then minor six down, then minor six down. That's fine. But these big blocks of stuff moving. Okay, so another definition we need is level of transposition. That's kind of exactly what it sounds like. That is the degree to which it's transposing. So in this case, it would be a major second would be the level of transposition, or a whole step, depending on, you can call it either one. We can have melodic sequences and we can have harmonic sequences. And this is when things get really interesting. What we have here is a melodic sequence, right? Because it's melodic. It's a melody of sorts, right? It's individual notes going in a pattern. But in a harmonic sequence would be like a chord progression that's moving in this kind of step. So you might have like a chord progression that is C, G, A, and then we see that same chord progression immediately again, but it's like a whole step down. So it's B flat, F, G, right? So it's the same chord progression, but a whole step down. And then you might have it again, a whole step down. So you have A flat, E flat, F, if I did that right in my head. So that would be a harmonic progression. We'll see those too. Those are, things start to get really interesting when you start doing that. So let's talk a little bit more about this idea of harmonic and melodic sequences. Let's go to a new video and dive a little bit deeper into that.